Yeah. See, let's try to, if there's like a topic, do it in a way so you don't get in trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Just start right off with it. Or you want to do the intro?
I'll do the intro. Hello and welcome back to the Kickback Lounge podcast. Today I'm joined 3 co-hosts today: Stanley, Max Choriev, and Kenny.
What up?
Lee,
What up?
bro?
In the building.
Check them out.
In the apartment.
Yes. So Kenny had a topic, bro. He was talking shit before the podcast. No, I was just kidding. That would be a fucking Tekashi 6ix9ine. So no, I saw this thing on Snapchat earlier. It was talking about it was these like 2 British dudes. They were going in on this chick for wanting. She has like a certain standard for like men she dates or whatever.
Yeah.
They gotta drive a certain car, because she's a millionaire and like she's fucking hot and shit, whatever, good looking. But they were like basically bashing her for like
Her taste?
for like saying, I need a man to drive like a good car to date him. I personally don't have a problem with that, because it's like we want a chick that's like appealing to the eye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
And that's just like their equivalent to like, not even their equivalent, but that's her like personal preference.
And that's a big thing too. It's like women have a different perspective of what they look for initially. It's weird. It's because like at some point in your relationship, you kind of have to outweigh like what you see the person as versus what they actually are. You know what I mean?
Because that's like where a lot of even, I guess, pre-relationships happen.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's the idea of
you
somebody.
fall in love with the idea of somebody.
Exactly.
Rather than like who they actually are. And so it's like one of those things where like, you reach a certain phase where you have to kind of like, you guys have to reflect on that. You have to reflect on if you're still going through with it because of that, or if it's something different. And I think it's just more of a discussion thing. Like, Sean, I know you deal with a lot of relationship stuff too. It's like, what do you think as far as that?
Oh, I think for both sides, a lot of people forget in order to have a relationship, you need work. Yeah. Bottom line. Relationships don't happen without work. Yeah. You need to actually try. Yeah.
So what do you think like specifically about like the expectation of like what she said?
Well, it's just her environment. That's what she's used to. So like you can't really blame her on that part, but also it's a very shallow way of thinking. Yeah. It's like,
is it?
Well, you're asking for these prerequisites that are just a car, a piece of clothing, like that doesn't define who you are. That's just what you can afford. What about I think after 6 months of spending time with that man or woman? All right, well, yeah, they have that car and everything, but they fucking suck. They don't know how to have a conversation.
I think her standard, she said, you can tell a lot about a person by the kind of car they drive. So that's like her outlook on it. Which, I mean...
What about Bill Gates and his fucking Honda?
I mean...
That's hard.
Yeah,
like, that's not very common.
Yeah, that's not the...
Neither is a bad bitch with $1 million in the bank and a Lamborghini. So.
He saves.
What I'm saying is...
Go ahead.
Like, I mean... So you said they were bashing on her? Because
they were bashing her for what I feel is like her preference.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Like, to me, that's just her standards. Like, she knows what she wants, and she puts on the table. That's what I want. If you're not, these are requirements. At least you can talk to me.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Me
either.
personally,
especially because like she already has like over. I think her garage is like insane. Yeah. Like she has so many cars, and like she said, I think to somebody she's dating, she's willing to like. Lend them a car, like if they pay for it or whatever. Yeah. But she has like
that's
so many like
nice.
No, like lend it to them.
If they pay for it.
Yeah, like
that's
renting. Yeah. But I mean, I don't have a problem with it because like she already has the shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
Like if she didn't have it, then it's
she's
like
a gold digger.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
She already has it.
For me, I agree with that too. It's like if you just lay the cards on the table, then it's a totally different story. But for like if you're in a relationship for a while and then you come out and you're like, okay, that's my standard, then it's like it's on some fake shit. But like for sure,
you think so?
Oh, yes, man. Because it's like, what if like that's just like if she left you like to just basically get a one up on something. Like literally, if someone had a better car, she would dip.
Yeah.
But like if you first met her,
I would assume that like
she didn't mention a car or anything.
If that's like your standard,
yeah.
Like if you like money, there's always gonna be someone richer, you know. But it's the same if like a girl wants a guy that's like just fit, just like really fit.
Yeah.
There's always a guy more fit.
Yeah.
You know
I would agree with that.
Like shit like that.
It's just about the mentality. And like you said, just putting the cards out before you get too deep into something, because like it's always clear. You want to draw the boundaries. Like you want people to know who you are right away. And it sometimes it does take time to like learn the person.
Do you though? I don't.
Yeah, man.
Wait,
depends on what you're looking for.
I think it also depends on opportunity.
Yeah.
Like if you have an open door chance to like do something that's probably outside of your normal realm, you're probably gonna do it, regardless if it's fake or not, or you believe in the standards, or like.
I would agree.
It's opportunity driven for sure.
Yeah.
What did you just say?
I don't know. I think that it's definitely gonna be like an expectation versus reality thing. Like it just depends on what she sets her standards as and what a guy is willing to do for that. You know.
Yeah. One of the biggest things I heard about like game or like spitting game or any of that is like lying is not game. You know?
No.
Lying is not game. Sometimes it's fun to like.
It depends.
We go ahead.
It depends on what you're looking for.
What do you mean?
If you're looking for a one night stand, bro, I'm gonna lie my teeth out, bro. Like, shit, I'm lying like a motherfucker, bro. Yeah. But if I want something serious, I'm gonna be like, like cool,
a little bit more down to earth.
Yeah, like realistic about it, you know. Because why? If I want something serious, it will eventually. Like if I'm lying to her, it will eventually show up, and then she's gonna be like, "All right, you're a fucking liar. You're this and that. That's not who I am, you know." But like if I'm looking for a relationship, but if I'm just trying to get some punene, I'm just like, I'm Bill Gates, the Asian version. So come through.
Yeah, you know? I think it's just like one of those things where it's a longevity thing as well.
Yeah.
Like once you start to date someone for so long, or like, you know, you guys get to know each other more. That's when you start to ask those type of questions, like, is this really like what you fell in love with? Like, is this the person you fell in love with, or did you just fell in love with like the person of the idea of that person?
So how do you look for, I guess, a partner? Like, what do you look for? Like specifically, to vet. Well, I mean, we'll go.
I'll go.
The table.
I mean,
go first, Max, or
my three things.
He's ready.
Did you say what do you look for in a partner, or
how
do you find a partner?
If you're like trying to look for a partner, like what are you looking for? Like red flags, like what?
All right. So whenever I look for a partner, I don't really look for the bad things. The bad things usually show up.
The red flags?
Yeah, red flags usually show up.
Because there's some bad things out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But the red flags, referring to red flags, like I don't really look for red flags. Red flags just show up. Then I'm like, oh, that's a red flag.
Right. Or what?
So,
like, what do you look out for? I guess you would look out for red flags.
Yeah.
So unstable mindset.
Yeah, whenever I go look for a chick, bro, or to be in a relationship, first thing I'll look for looks. If they're good looking, you know, that's attracts me. The looks is
Fair.
either way, you know.
Fair.
Then it really depends on their personality. If they're really laid back, cool individual, you know, super nice, funny, like I can tolerate them, you know, like I can tolerate very well. Then like in a relationship, like the beginning, it's like lovey-dovey, like for the first 6 months. Then usually, then it goes like, then you see each other's personality, bad parts, good parts. If you can tolerate that person and you can see yourself being with that person for a while, for a long time.
I like how it's like tolerating. I know
exactly.
I know what you mean.
I know what you mean too.
No, like
it's like sometimes it'd be like that.
No, it does.
Bro,
it does.
like what I'm saying is like tolerate. It is tolerance. It comes down to tolerance. Like vice versa. It could be girls, right? Girls like guys are like a lot of guys are immature. Some of them are like immature, like you know.
Yeah.
And they're like some girls are like, whatever, but they know he's a genuine guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a nice guy, but he's like annoying a little bit, but like they tolerate him, right? It goes the same with the guys. Like girls annoying, but like if she's super nice, like you know, nice personality, nice heart, you know, I'm willing to tolerate her a little annoyance, but like it's you know it's something.
She's not a bad person.
Yeah,
she's not a bad person.
It helps.
Like,
counteract.
Am I growing? Is she helping me grow? You know, that's one thing too.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go.
Both yours?
No, you go ahead.
Go ahead. I think my 3 is trustworthiness, like loyal, and then you have to have respect. Like that.
Well,
that's the big thing.
How can you look at that?
Yeah,
like those 3 things.
How do you quantify?
Yeah,
you can gauge it.
You can't gauge it. I promise you cannot
loyalty.
Gauge, like girls' loyalty off. Like this is the only thing is like if you see a girl and she's being a hoe.
Yeah.
Like
You can. I mean, we know
which is her choice, but like, you shouldn't like look at that as like,
oh, she's not being loyal.
No. You definitely should look at that like she's probably not gonna be,
because that's a big thing too. It's like guys jump the gun on that too.
Guys
like,
jump the gun.
Yeah, we'll think like, because I mean, me and my girlfriend have had plenty of fights about that. Like, you think that she's, not loyal or something, or like you think that maybe she's going out there a little bit too much. No, see, we can talk about that. That's fine. But it's like a situation where in her perspective, it's not like that. Like in her perspective, it was something different in her perspective, Yeah. But from a guy's standpoint, because we're men and what we see with women and how their feminism can be like attractive to other guys, it's like it comes off as a certain way to us, but to them it's just like, oh, I'm just being a woman. I'm just doing my thing. I'm just doing this. But you know what I mean? Though it's like it comes off as that.
Bro, look, there's certain traits. There's certain traits. Like there's certain traits females have and guys have. Like they might say like, if I'm female, like if you're talking to this chick, right, and you guys go out and to a bar, and she sees one of her guy friends and she grabs him by the arm like this, touches him, bro. Listen, if you guys are dating, right, like or something, and she touches another dude like that, she belongs in the streets, bro. Yeah, like it's simple as that. Like that's certain things they have, certain traits, certain things they do. They know back in their head they're like, all right, it's not
right.
Right. But if they're committed, they're like, okay, I'm not.
Same for guys too.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
It's just
if you're a girl trying to like dating a guy, or like you're going on dates or whatever, you should definitely look how they interact with, like, if they see a girl they know or whatever, or like meeting new girls, because like that's gonna give you an indicator of like whether or not they at least respect you.
I'm glad you said interaction.
It's a learning curve.
Yeah.
For everybody. You'll see, if you look back at how you treated your last relationship 5 years ago compared to how you treat it now, and then how you're probably going to treat that same or a different relationship 5 years from then, it's always going to be different because you're always learning. You're not going to do the same thing because you've made mistakes, you've learned, you've been able to navigate the nuance of relationship and see how people react during certain situations and how you speak. It's just a learning curve that it's going to be developed through experience.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I would say you have to be translucent too. And if you are going to be translucent with her, she has to be translucent with you. Vice versa, just like you can't have anything behind the curtain, because like, I don't know, with women it seems like it's a lot of times like defiance. Like if they are being pushed a certain direction, or if they're doing something.
Both, not just women.
I would say with men too, but for women specifically, it feels like it's like more like recently and nowadays, like it's more like the feminist movement and stuff. Like it just feels like they'll do the opposite before they do what you want. Yeah. Like they just will. And it's just one.
I feel like a lot of girls will say they want a certain type of like.
Right.
Like want you to act a certain way.
Right.
Or want you to like either like believe in a certain shit. But like honestly at the end of the day, like there's masculine traits that women are attracted to.
Exactly. I agree.
Regardless of like all of that, regardless of even what they say, like their words, or regardless of what they think they might want.
Right, 100%.
Yeah, it dwindles back down to biology.
Oh my God.
And exactly what humans are made for. Humans are made to reproduce, and that's it. That just like every other life form is made to reproduce. There are certain traits that people acquire that are just gonna make them more attractive, physically or emotionally or spiritually towards other people.
Like there's a reason why girls like when guys treat them like shit. You know what I mean?
So it's like a psychological thing. Like in my opinion, bro, like a lot of it's all fucking mental game, bro. They don't feel good enough. Like if like let's say
that goes both ways too. By the way, yeah.
Like if they think they're not good enough, they're like, why not? Cause to them, they're like some girls are like,
it's an ego thing.
Yeah, it's the ego thing. Like to them, they're like, I'm good looking. Why is he treating me like shit? They're right. Then if you keep treating,
or why doesn't he simp?
Yeah. Or why doesn't he like you said simp?
Yeah.
Then there's like to them they get more intrigued.
One of the biggest things that like girls say now, or like you see out there, at least on the internet, not like in real life type shit. They're like, oh, I love a simp. I love a guy that's
a fucking lie.
That's a lie. If you don't fight, if you don't disagree in a relationship, y'all don't care about each other, man. I'm sorry.
You know one thing I learned.
Period.
You just want like an easy relationship. That's the same thing as a dude saying, "Oh, I just like a girl who likes to fuck." Like,
You do like that.
I mean, everyone can like that for a little bit, but like if you want an extensive relationship,
Oh yeah, no.
like it's not gonna work.
For a relationship.
That's the same thing as a girl saying, "Oh, I just wanted to simp." You wanted to fucking kiss your feet and paint your toenails.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine a girl, or imagine if you like a girl that like, say you fall in love with a chick just because she wants to fuck all the time, like.
Yeah, that's a no-go.
Bro, how do you think that's gonna work out for you? You know what I mean?
How you gonna fall in with somebody like that? I don't understand.
Because maybe you're just like fucking them all the time, and you're just like, oh, they really like me. They really like me. You know, type shit.
I mean, a lot of people like that turn to porn.
That's true.
They get into the industry themselves. OnlyFans is a fucking
like
catalyst for that too.
Yeah. I guess.
Sex sells. It always will.
For sure. I mean, that's one thing that's always gonna make money, is sex.
Yeah.
That's something that we all like constantly. I mean, it's everywhere. So, I just think it's one of those things. But yeah, in relationships, dude, it's just one of those things. You guys have to get through the growing pains. Like, kind of just have to pick each other off, and just take out everything.
Yeah.
Put it out on the table, dissect it. I mean, it's just you're sharing life with somebody, so it's like it's a little bit different than if you were just like you said, like if you're just dating for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like this is something like this. If you two people are committed, like you already know, you got past all the growing pain shit. Like, it's just it's a mission, dude, to get to that next level. Because it really is like a next step as far as like the whole trust and stuff goes.
Probably figure out yourself first.
Oh hell yeah.
Before you
that too.
Try to get
and what you want
in a relationship.
You know, figure out yourself, what you want.
What makes you happy, what fucking motivates you.
100%.
Definitely. If you don't know what direction you're going in, how are you gonna tell which direction the relationship to go in?
Yeah, it's already like go ahead.
I was gonna say, whenever you start a relationship, the first thing you guys should do is like set boundaries. There's some things you hands down, you cross that, it's over. You know,
and you have to stick to that.
Yeah, you have to stick to it, because if you don't,
you'll get walked on.
You get walked on, bro. Like, you need to like. It will also check her. You know, like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It will check her or him, whatever. You know. And also another thing is just try to understand that you're a partner. Why? Because some things they do is a reason they do it. They don't understand it. Why? Some of them are like insecure. Some of them are like just not even realizing they're doing it. Like talk about it. Don't be judgy. Don't judge them. Just like talk about it. Try to discuss it.
Communication.
Communication is a big thing.
Yeah, a lot of times early in the relationship, like we already said, you fall in love with the idea of the person, and then a little bit later, as that relationship grows stronger and progresses, you don't want to hurt that person's feelings by telling them the truth or how you really feel about some actions or something they may have said or done, and you kind of feel like you're saving them, but then it gets bottled up, and then eventually you might be doing something that you don't plan on doing. You might get drunk and hook up with someone, then you cheated. Shit happens, but that all stemmed from not being 100% honest with your other in the very beginning.
Do you think there's a common like saying or whatever that guys cheat just because like they just like sex? What do you think about that?
Guys cheat because they like sex,
and the girls cheat because of emotion.
No, I don't think guys just cheat because of just sex. It's more of like, maybe. I mean, sometimes, but like majority of the time, it's like they're not really committed to the relationship. Like if they really love their partner, they wouldn't just like, because what they're doing knows it's gonna hurt them.
Yeah.
Right.
Even if you put yourself in that position.
Yeah.
Of
just
like
prolonging the inevitable.
Yeah.
Just
so
being
like,
around like a bunch of like girls, and then you like either start drinking or you like go out for that reason.
when people say, "Oh, I was drinking, I was in the right state of mind," bitch.
You know
what you were doing.
Yeah.
And I feel like recently too, like guys, we need to start normalizing that shit. Like guys have their own emotional set. Like we're not just stoned. Yeah. Like we actually do have different opinions about shit in relationships. And I don't think it's we know the girl's perspective on a lot of shit that we talk about here. But we don't know the guy's perspective, and I feel like that's the thing. Is like a lot of people need to become more aware of that shit. Because we are definitely aware of that kind of stuff.
Dude, like to me, I personally don't like talking about my feelings. That shit makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
girls be trying to like drag it out of you.
Yes, dude. That's just, I'm like, listen. Like, if I wanted, like,
I'll tell you when I'm ready.
Exactly.
For me, I don't care. like I guess I'm a little different, but for me, I don't care because it's like eventually you're gonna see that side. So it's like rather you see it now, rather you see it when I'm 80.
I think the reason
just get it out.
The reason for like not sharing everything is like you can like
fear of getting judged.
Protect yourself.
Fear of getting judged is in there for sure. Just like having people know like everything about you is vulnerable. It's a very vulnerable thing. And like girls would be like, it's cool, it's fine to be vulnerable. That's a fucking lie, bro. Like it's cool. Like if you're with your boys or like you're talking to somebody, that's fine. But like if in a relationship, bro, you can't always be like talking to your girl about like certain things. Like certain things you can, but like you don't have to tell them everything because it's like, bro, like if you keep doing that, they're gonna just look at you as weak, whether it's subconscious. Like even they'll swear up and down they won't.
Yeah,
they're like, no,
dude. I guess it depends on like the magnitude though.
Yeah,
like
no, for sure. It's definitely
like if you're always like fucking crying about some shit that can easily be fixed. It's just you're not taking the time out to do it. Then yeah, you're kind of a bitch. But if you're expressing yourself and it's valid and it's like it's gonna take two people with equal amount of work ethic to create this solution, then it's viable. It's a valid expression of emotion.
No, I would agree with that.
That's true.
That's
bro,
very true.
Like even they just be, especially like early on. It depends how long you've been dating the person or like how close you are to the person. Cause like girls be trying to get that shit out of you early.
Yeah, they do.
You know what I mean? I'm like, dang, like chill the fuck out. Like I don't even like.
Yeah, bro. I know what you mean.
Dive
like,
into this shit.
It takes at least like about 2-3 years for me to like actually trust somebody.
Yeah,
man.
Like starting to trust somebody. Like, you know, like I can open up to them and, you know, say something. But like usually I'm like, nah, bro, I don't know you. I don't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I keep certain distance with people.
Yeah.
As time goes on, the distance closes and closes.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a challenge to them, I would say. It's like,
super
can I get this like fucking tough motherfucker to like open up?
Crack.
Blah blah blah. Like
I think it's fair though. Like not everyone needs to be able to see that side of you. You should you can't let everyone see that side of you.
I mean,
you can only have like your set group, your circle, the people you care about, your family, your friends. They can. It's fine, but you can't let just random people see that side of you because you don't know what their intentions are.
You can take advantage of it.
What their motive is.
Exactly. A lot of people. That's a good point because people's motives be fucked up too.
Take advantage.
Or like it will come out and like, oh well, this is why you're doing this. Man. This is why blah blah blah. Because like they use it as a weapon in a way sometimes.
Yeah, they try to break you down with it.
Yeah.
I just think it's one of those things where it's like you have to just go back to the drawing board and think about it because it's honestly something that is deeper than just surface level shit.
I'm all for dealing with like your like traumas or shit like that too. Like, but it's just like
what you guys were saying. You have to trust who you can talk to.
Exactly. Like you can go to therapy. I don't know. I've never been, so I can't really speak on that.
Been a couple times.
Yeah. Is it? How would you say like definitely?
I used to go when I was a child all the time, and it helped for sure. Helped me through a lot of times. You know, mine was like a child therapist, so I would use like toys to like show her what I was feeling. She had like a little house and stuff, and like
do you
just
think
pick
that
from
helps
the bin.
Hell yeah. Start early on.
Hell yeah. Kids should definitely be in therapy. It helps you process a lot of how the world works, so that when you get older, you don't just like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
it helps. It helps you ease into it. Like a lot of childhood traumas that I had, like seeing early on, it helped me get past it because it kind of showed me like, okay, yes, this happened. It's a part of like a life as an adult and stuff like that. It's part of like your experiences as a person as you grow. So it definitely helps for sure. It makes you put your cards on the table.
And yeah, that's definitely a thing because like I don't know, like now at this point, like I always say like if I ever get like rich or if I get on, all the boys are getting like therapy, bro. You know what I mean? I'm saying all the boys getting therapy.
What you saying?
That's big.
What you saying?
I'm saying we all getting therapy, bro.
It's healthy, bro.
No, it's definitely healthy, but like I don't know. We're not trying to put like a stigma on just like talking about your traumas, but like it's definitely something you should look out for in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like you gotta be careful because shit, it will like shit will get weaponized, bro. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Bro, listen. Girls are vicious. They're super sweet, but there's like they could become vicious, man.
They're Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah, dude. Like, and dude, like girls, lie a lot more than you think.
Yeah.
A lot more than they're like, oh, we don't judge. Oh, you're just cool. This that. Then when they feel like they're getting pushed in the corner, they'll fucking take it out of you, bro. They're just fucking stab you with it.
And it's not even just lying to you; it's lying to themselves.
Dude, a lot of it's not even their fault. A lot of it's their like insecurities, you know,
That's facts.
Insecurities, or like a certain way of thinking that society has pushed on them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it goes back to like not knowing how to handle certain situations. If you're in that position and you've never been in that position before, you don't know how to handle it. It's your first time. You're gonna make mistakes when you do it. But if you were to go through that same moment 50 times, the 50th time you do it, you're gonna handle it like a boss.
Yeah.
Each time you get a little better with it.
Yeah, we definitely been through some things in like relationships that you made you become a man.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
I would say.
I would definitely say that about. I've had that realization too about 2 years into mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just like you said, man, you got to realize like you're your own person. At the end of the day, like you're part of a team, you're part of a relationship, but you're also your own person.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to like realize your self-development.
That's big.
And then you have to realize, yeah, dude, seriously, it's facts what you guys are saying. Like it's just you have to realize like you are individuals.
Yeah.
And like if stuff isn't working out, you have to come to the table with that. Like you can't just like let it go underneath.
Yeah. Dude, you can finish if my bad.
No, that's what I meant. Like it's just like you can't let it just go under the bridge. You got to kind of address it.
And that's important, like that you say that, because a lot of people when they're in relationships, they're just like constantly thinking on how can I make this work? How can I do this? But
how can I get this person to make my life better? How could I get this person to? How could I do this person to help me?
How could we get to this place?
Right.
I guess it's important. It's definitely important.
I was gonna say it's definitely important to make relationship goals as far as like what you guys strive for, but at the same time you have to have individual goals, individual obligations. Because like at the end of the day, it's like you said, it's you guys are individuals, and if that person would just leave your life, like you know,
yeah, definitely. If like
where will you be?
Something happens, you guys break up, like you kind of get lost.
Yeah,
if you forgot who you were in a relationship, like, or even like just didn't learn about yourself for like, say you're in a 3-year relationship, and all you cared about is that relationship, like you are going, it will affect you. When it ends, you're gonna be in a fucking like, and
legitimately, I'll tell you this funny story. I felt bad, like we got in a fight the other day or whatever, like last week, and I said that
damn bro, we can't be spilling all that.
I'll just say one more. I was like you know, like what would happen if like we were long fight, but I'll just say like what would happen if like you just went out in the parking lot, got in your car, and like got in a car accident or something, and I never saw you again.
Yeah.
Like then what? And I said that to her, like, cause we were in a long, like a.
What happens if I shoot your ass, man?
But my point to her was like, it's like, it's just you have to realize like we are like individuals and we have things that we want from each other. But like if we don't get those things, we still have to like be willing to work with that person. Otherwise, that's not really love. You know, that's not really like you loving that person.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, life goes on. People want other people to depend on them so much, but once it ends, life continues, man. You in a job for 5 years and you get fired, get a new one. Yeah. It's like people get super comfortable.
Dude,
bro, get your heart broken a couple of times, like you'll know.
You start caring about yourself.
Yeah. You have to understand
like, okay.
You at the end of the day, you do not need someone for you to exist.
Yeah, I agree.
It's impossible.
I would say I like what you said about like dependency. It's definitely like a toxic thing. Can be a toxic thing when dependency is. There's probably like some fucking like chart or some like calculation you can do when dependency is like too high. Like it's not gonna be good for your relationship.
I think younger relationships use dependency to prove their love towards one another.
Yeah, it feels like love.
It feels like love. They think that they love each other, but it's kind of weak. It's not real. Yeah. Because, like you said, if your significant other were to die the next day, or like your husband dies, falls off a cliff, whatever.
That girl getting over that shit.
Guess
in
what?
2 months.
You're still gonna live. You're still gonna be on planet Earth, and you're gonna keep fucking moving. Like you're gonna be sad. Yeah. Fucking some people might even kill themselves, but
you still got.
Either way, you still keep moving.
Moving on,
So. No facts.
I agree.
You guys got any thoughts on that?
This is deep convo, man. I like it.
like all I gotta say is like, look, when you're in a relationship,
Yeah.
go in there, you know, like, just respect them, like, respect them. If they look at them, like, also look at yourself. Are they respecting me? That's all. So, like, if you feel like they're respecting you, then a relationship will be fine. Like, you know, in my opinion.
Dude, literally, it's a lot of self-reflection.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it comes down to. Because, like, even after I said, like, what I said, it was like, well, damn, like, how did I get to this point where I'm saying that shit to her? You know what I mean? Like, it's like you have to really, like, step outside of, like, where you guys are and where you are mentally as a man and as a woman and say, like, okay, let's reassess the situation. Like, is this something that's for us? Is it something that's not for us? And honestly, it takes a level of maturity. But you just have to be comfortable in yourself and comfortable enough to know, like, that no matter what decision you make or, like, what decision you guys go or whatever like that, it's going to work out. Like you said, it's going to continue to go on. So it's one of those things. It's always a development thing.
Yeah, it's definitely going to take personal intuition to make these type of things work. Like, you can't really put a number on anything or describe it. It's just a feeling. That's what makes us human. That's what makes us be able to make correct decisions and calculate what we're going to do.
Yeah.
It's based on intuition. You can't, like, write a formula down on how to make a relationship work because every single one is different. So it's going to be based off each individual's personal opinion, emotion, and how they react to it. So what do you got to say, Max?
Yeah.
I mean, I will never get to the point of love where Jada and Will are.
Yeah,
Where you're so in love
we were
with a
talking about
person.
that last week.
It's so weird, man.
Where
You can just be so in love with a person that you don't even want to split with them. Like, that doesn't make sense.
I think it's financial for Will.
Yeah, and it's like they have a family already and stuff too.
It's way harder. When
It'd be hard to
create a family and have had that dynamic for so long, and
like
then
in the industry.
Yeah, talk on mic.
In the industry too.
Do you think it's like, a lot of it is fear? You know, they probably balanced it out.
That's what it is for Will. Yeah,
Like,
he said. Like, divorce, because he's been through one divorce. Said it was the worst thing in his life. So
I will do it, bro. Go through it the second time. It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be that bad. I'm sure it won't, because nothing is. Every time is the hardest. Hardest is the first time. That's with anything. You're fighting, competing. Like, it's like, you know, when you lose your first time, you lose your virginity. How fucking scary that shit was.
With his first divorce, did he even have a family yet, though?
I don't know,
Because I'm pretty sure both of his children are Jada's also.
No, he has a one son with
Someone else.
not famous.
But that shit don't matter. But what I'm saying is,
No, it does. It definitely matters. Having a kid with divorce.
I don't know what I'm saying. I mean, the kids
it's gonna make it way harder.
They're not gonna be. The kids are almost how was Will?
Well, them now it doesn't. Now it doesn't matter.
Yeah, now it doesn't matter. So like,
But except for like when it happens, they're in the public eye. Then it's like, oh, your fucking parents got divorced.
That's gonna make it 10
it's gonna be in
times
the
harder.
news constantly. Like you turn on, or you get on fucking Instagram. That's all you're gonna see. Your Twitter feed is just like, your parents got divorced.
Yeah, you have
Like,
a bunch of random people just like poking and prodding at what just happened.
all memes.
dude, that's why.
And
it's
also,
already bad.
when you have
It's already
children,
bad, dude. It's
when
fucked up.
you put children in the mix, you're not thinking about me or your significant other and how you guys got affected. You're thinking about how your kids are going to be affected from the separation, and that makes it harder. Because if you want, it's proven that like children who come from divorced homes, it's harder for them
when they're young
to be successful just because of the emotional trauma that usually gets put on them.
That's facts.
So it's like it's not even about you and your wife or husband. It's about your kids.
Yeah, a lot of times. But obviously their kids are fucking older now. So
Yeah, I'm just like, divorce her ass, bro. I mean, unless you feel like you don't have to because of
He might
financial
lose
reasons, but I don't know, bro. I would be like,
Yeah, I'd walk.
like, well, she cheated on him, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think they have a relationship to where they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, it's an
Open
open relationship.
Yeah,
So why are they getting divorced then?
They're
they're
not.
not.
We were saying like they should.
always don't
I was
think
saying that
y'all
they
were.
should get divorced.
So wait, so I thought.
It's just like
So what's the
it's
issue
just-
then? If it's like,
Jada keeps coming out and saying shit that she shouldn't be saying.
Exactly.
On a respect level. Like
about Will?
yeah, just like their relationship.
Disclosed
Or
information,
She's doing it
basically.
for content.
Well, Will, check her ass, bro. You were the relationship we're the pets in the relationship.
I don't think he cares
Yeah, I don't think he really cares.
because
Bro, like,
he's done some stuff
Except
too.
for the fact that he's getting memed the fuck out of right now.
Yeah.
Bro, like to me, like I don't know, respect is a big thing. If you like your spouse, somebody you share your bed with,
Bro, someone's
talk
having
shit.
sex with your spouse. Your wife. That's the
know.
ultimate disrespect, in my opinion.
I
She's
mean,
coming back home to
other
you.
girls.
If that's their agreement,
yeah,
that's different. But like, if that, like, it's just weird to me.
Me personally, I wouldn't like let that happen at all.
It's just fucked up, bro.
Yeah, dude.
like,
to me, yeah, dude.
Like you said, you're coming back home to sleep with her and stuff, and like, she smells like other men, bro. Like,
I don't
Not
think
even
he's
that,
really.
bro.
That would
probably
make
not
me
even sleeping with
angry.
her. Let's be honest.
Look,
They probably got
like
different.
Some Gucci guilty.
They probably got different rooms. They got different rooms. She smell like Calvin Klein. They got different rooms and shit. They're probably not like fucking every night, dude. They're probably not coming home to each other. Like they're probably.
It's just a weird vibe. That's why I'm like, why would you force that on yourself? But I guess like
maybe
you
it's
said,
how you look at marriage versus how he looks at marriage.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I don't know, dude. To me, I don't know, dude. Like, if you're in a relationship with somebody, they're committing themselves to you. Not, you know what I'm saying? That's the whole point of a relationship. They're gonna help you carry the weight. You know, help you commit. They, you know, like if they're not committing, then why are you in a relationship with that person?
I agree.
You know, then at this point,
I
like
agree.
you could. That's like that could be that's like your friend. You know.
basically friends with benefits, bro. With
Maybe
kids.
that's what it is. Maybe that's what
Dude,
it
friends
is.
and benefits, that shit don't work, bro.
gotta talk
That's
about
one
it.
thing.
Maybe they just get along.
Yeah.
Do they?
I mean, if you talk shit behind his back, I don't know.
Oh, that's disrespectful.
Yeah, like I don't know, dude.
That's disrespect, bro.
I don't know, dude.
He married her, bro. You know what I mean? Like that's his decision.
I don't know, bro.
It goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all I gotta say is, Will, dude, what do you think is the best? Because we're out here talking about it, like we don't know what the whole fucking. We just
Right.
know the
Right.
like scratch of the whole thing.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, what you think is the best, Will? I know you don't listen to this, but like,
Hey, well,
do what you
mine?
need to
we'll
do.
have you on, my guy.
Yeah, Will Smith, come on the podcast, bro.
Let you talk about it.
2022. So, I just got clear, guys. Listen. This is a public service announcement, all right?
PSA,
I'm planning on fighting January and February. So, 2022, let's get some W's in the pockets. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, that's what, 2 months out? About to start the camp.
So,
Get this
how long since your last fight?
My last fight was
Look it up.
2019, I believe. No, it was 2020, beginning of 2020. Like, I believe. And in February? Yeah. So I haven't fought since February of 2020. Actually, earlier than that, my last fight.
How was the time off then? Since like going from fighting, how often did you fight?
How often? Every 3 months.
Yeah. So how does it feel from going like, because that involves like training camp. So like what, like a month of training before a fight? Like
Yeah, so
like
a month and a half.
Hard month and a half.
Yeah, month
so
and
you're
a half.
pretty much like either before you were pretty much like training or fighting.
I'm constantly, when I'm fighting, I'm constantly training.
Yeah.
Constantly.
So how was the break like? How was it?
Break was, it was nice at the beginning. Then after a while,
Start getting antsy.
yeah, started getting a little old. Then I wasn't really focused on training as much. I just faded a little bit. Now that everything's starting to get back together, I'm more excited about it. So I'm more like, oh, let's go.
Yeah.
But the break was nice. I wish I benefited off it, utilized it a lot more than what I did. But I'm gonna be back soon, so everything's gonna be good.
Yeah. From the last fight, like what did you learn?
From my last fight, okay, here's the thing. The last fight, I shouldn't have lost. I mean, I did lose fair and square, right? But I know I should have lost. Why? Because I wasn't really training for the fight. Like for my standing up, my stand up wasn't training. I wasn't doing any grappling for like a couple months, since my last fight. Why? Because I was on a 6-win winning streak, right? And my ego got better than me.
We break that down for fighters, like how winning and ego can affect training
Mentality.
Yeah.
Yep, it does. It affected me, but I feel like I needed that loss. Why? Because it's gave me a reality check of like, this is what's gonna happen. Don't let this happen again. Like these are the consequences. Like if you eat a loss like this a couple of times, and that shit don't matter. Like your career is like down the drain, basically.
because like it's just, I guess fans put a lot of emphasis on
record.
well, yeah, fighters and fans and like all that. Yeah, put a lot of emphasis on record, In MMA, you can get away with it a little more for sure.
Yeah.
Than like boxing.
It's still it baffles me how record works for MMA.
Yeah, it's
compared to any other sport. I mean, it's strange.
a lot of what do you call it? The fans aren't really fighters. They understand that this guy's a good fighter, but they don't really understand. They look at he has a winning record. He's good.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't understand what makes this fighter good. You know, they just look at the stats and be like, okay.
We break that down for like the audience. What makes a fighter good?
So it's usually like skill level, like their mentality, but a lot of people don't really understand. They just go on TV on a weekend and just watch it. But like other fighters know how much time, effort it takes to be a skillful fighter, you know. And to them, fighters know what it takes. But like average fan, they just look at the stats, like, okay, this guy. They don't do their research, right? Like they just look at it, what's on TV, like, okay, this guy has this winning record, this many wins, this many losses. This is high, this is what he weighs, you know. They just look at the outside. They don't look at the depth, you know, the layers of a fighter.
So what I have to explain to people like that say they don't like MMA or like they just don't watch. When I said what I have to explain to them is like they might even like other sports, but I'm like, for me, it's called like mixed martial arts, and it really is an art.
It is. To understand it, like any artist, any painter, musician, they understand why it's an art, you know, because amount of time they put in, amount of sacrifices they had sacrificed, you know, like amount of pain and suffering they went through to get there. It makes it beautiful, you know. To make it something like making a knife, you know, like it takes so much time to make it so sharp. It's like average person just uses knives, it's a sharp knife, right? But the person that made the knife knows how long it took, how many times they bent the metal, you know what I'm saying? So they understand, they appreciate it more.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and like you
I like
are
that analogy.
Yeah, me too. You are the weapon, you know.
Yeah.
You are the like constantly working on yourself, and it's like there's different strategies. That's what's cool about mixed martial arts is there's different martial arts. So it's like, how does this stack up against? How does this guy's technique, his skill, what he decides to do in the moment, all that, like, how does that stack up against?
It's intense, man. Like different fighters are different, you know. Like to me personally, like it's a lifelong commitment to be a fighter. You know, like it's a painful and dreadful lifestyle. It's weird. It's like you got to be a little bit crazy to be a fighter, you know. But it's just the person. Some people are just born for the storm, you know.
Would you say it's different than being like a professional athlete? Like if you're an NBA player, NFL player?
Yeah, it's in my opinion, it's being a fighter is a lot harder. It's you have to be constantly like cutting weight. You have to be constantly training. You're in pain, and a lot of
people are willing to die. Like in the octagon.
Yeah, like people don't understand. Like this is not just like a basketball, baseball game. You know, you lose, you get it's go home. Like to them, you're literally putting your body in stake.
You're training to not take a loss.
Yeah, you're gambling your body.
Right.
You know who you are. Like a lot of fighters don't they don't live to be old, too old. If they do, they're usually beat up. Their joints are beat up. Their brains are beat up. You know.
Or they smoke a lot of pot, like Mike Tyson.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But like a lot of these athletes, they go like basketball players, baseball players. You know,
basketball players live forever, bro.
Yeah, dude.
And they can go into media and stuff like that too.
But like a fighter, bro, you're just like, I don't know, dude. Like it's intense being a fighter. Why? Because basketball player, you don't put your body in risk. You know, you get like a lot. It's a lot more.
A lot more.
You can get in the gym and then just go home.
A lot more if you're like professional.
Right. Whereas like a fighter, you just basically it's full dedication.
Yeah, dude. You're being a fighter is dreadful. Like you have to be fully in or like don't do it at all. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't half-ass. If you get half-ass, you just get beat up in like.
The way out is definitely like worth it though, for sure. Like if you're a great fighter, I mean that is probably the greatest like title you can have as a man. Like
I think it's a lot of like
you're
like,
feared.
Your ego's getting fed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Which rightfully so. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like that. That's one thing I'm working on also, trying to control my ego. Ego is like
I'm trying to be very calm, collected individual. You know, when it comes to fighting, whenever you go out, like you win a fight, you get excited, you know, but you like take a deep breath and calm down. That's what I try to tell myself. Why? Because at the end of the day, the guy that you just beat now has to like you know what he's been through. You know, like he's all the weight cut he did. It's not easy getting there.
That's why I hate watching like friends fight or like anybody I know fight, because it's like, bro, it gives me so much anxiety. Because I know where I seen like what they've been through. Or like how much work they put in to get to like
the DC fight with Stipe before he retired. That was definitely a fight for me where I was like, shit, I've never seen DC lose like that twice.
Well, I'm talking, it's a whole different level.
Like you saying, like personally,
like somebody you know personally, it's like, bro, like,
because you're in the gym. I mean, you're seeing a lot of fighters. You're seeing like that kind of stuff.
You just get nervous, like you just get nervous either like. You're like, damn, bro, I hope they get this W.
Right.
Like when they get hit, you're like, oh fuck, you feel the pain.
Oh my
god. Dude, when I was younger, I think when I was probably like 10 or 12, my cousin Anthony had a MMA fight in the cage, and it was outside. It was
street beefs.
I guess
something like that.
I don't know. There's a whole bunch of people, you know, like fucking lemonade stand, whatever, like a bunch of shit going on, and the guy he was fighting went in under a false name. He was, because this was supposed to be an amateur MMA bout, you know?
Yeah. Was he built like Kimbo Slice?
No. He just built like some dude, but he went under a false name, and he had way more experience than he should have. And my cousin ended up getting like beat and getting stitches like on his fucking forehead and shit. But like watching that, I'm like, oh, like I couldn't feel it, but I'm like, oh my god, like this fucking is. I was sitting cage side, like watching this shit because it's outside, so there's so much room, and I'm just watching. I'm like, oh my god. And then they found out after the fact that the dude was like, yeah, it was bullshitting on who his name was, who he actually was.
That's crazy.
And
they clearly didn't vet him fucking much. They're like, oh yeah, sign up.
Wait, Max, does that happen often, where fighters like kind of lie on their record and stuff?
It used to, especially MMA, like when MMA first started, you know. But now that MMA gotten so popular, they have more rules, they have more regulations now. They have like, now you can't, like, you have to be like, to be a professional fighter, you have to have 5 fights and a winning record. That's a requirement to go pro. You can't just decide to go pro now. You know what I'm saying? So they have changed a lot of things around now. Like, to be an MMA fighter, like you need to be have an identification by the state. Like I have an identification by the Missouri state.
So would you say it's like the fight scene in Missouri is getting a lot better? Like it's getting more recognition?
Not just Missouri, like all over the world.
All over the world. Fighting in general.
Yeah. MMA gotten so popular.
It's getting bigger. It's not even just it didn't just like get popular. Like it's growing. Each card has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So
thanks, Connor.
Combat
sports in general is taking over right now, dude, and it's only going to continue, like I said, to get better because everything else is becoming more boring. Like basketball is terrible. I don't know if you guys have watched that recently, but it's not fun.
Bro, I used to
football's good.
You know how I've been into like almost every sport at one point or another.
Yeah, soccer and
Yeah, now it's just MMA because like
it's
the hard to watch some other shit, bro. Honestly,
it's honestly the most interesting sport.
You know what I mean? Because like people invest too much. Especially men invest too much of their time in team stats. They're like, and the way people talk about athletes kind of pisses me off sometimes. Yeah, because it's like, bro, you're a fucking like 30, 40-year-old, like didn't do shit in life, like and you're talking about like these athletes that dedicate their life to this shit. Like maybe
it's hard, man.
Maybe they're more like
genetically inclined,
have a better genetic predisposition for being an athlete, or like they're tall or some shit. Right. But like they still gotta work hard. You know what I mean? You don't just become a professional athlete and like not work hard. And it's like fun. It's fun to like be like, oh, this guy's fucking shit. But like it almost seems like they're serious about it sometimes.
It's the work that they do off the floor that we don't really see. And that's the biggest thing. It's like it's a battle for a lot of these dudes, man. Like on a daily basis, like LeBron probably every night he's probably in the bed crying in pain, bro, because he's old.
I doubt it. On his fucking money.
On his money though. But like, it's the shit we don't see. As viewers.
I know what you mean.
We only see them perform. We only see them in the cage. We only see them, on the field. So it's something That's
the thing with like combat sports too. It's like they're putting so much more on the line, like we were talking about.
Yeah, your life. You're really putting your whole body, you're physically putting your body in risk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your brain, who you are. Like, you know, your brain is who you are. And you literally, every time you get hit, there's part of you that dies and they'll never return. Like your brain cells, your neurons, they don't build back up. Once they're dead, they're dead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know, I just feel like being a fighter is one of the most underappreciated lifestyles, I guess you call it, or choices.
Yeah, lifestyles. It's a lifestyle to be a fighter, I would say. If you do it right, like some people, you know, they're half in it. Some people are, you know.
And for how much entertainment you get out of it, like I think that fighters need to be paid more, and like it should be more money to the sport for sure.
It's like
it's getting there, but it's just taking forever.
Watching the best people is like the best fighters. I mean, like that shit's exciting as fuck to me. Like
it's the best entertainment.
Dude, like shout out to Max Holloway and Yair Rodriguez, some of the most exciting fighters to watch out there. I don't know if you guys saw the fight. What do you guys think about that?
Dude, that fight was fucking crazy. They were throwing heat the entire time.
They were throwing heat. I knew Yair would come with the kicks.
Dude, there was a little snippet I saw. It's a 4-limb combo that Yair hit on Max. It was like left, right, and then left, right with his legs, and they all landed.
Yeah, dude. Yair is nice with it. Like, he hasn't fought in a minute. I think I seen his last fight. It was like 2 years or something.
Yeah, he was out for 2 years. The only thing he needs to improve on is that ground game for real. Because, like, Max doesn't really out-wrestle many people.
I don't really see Max on the ground, really. But I think isn't he, like, really good on the ground?
He's good, for sure.
He's not bad, but he's just not, like...
Not elite.
Yeah, he's not, like, elite.
You're never going to see him being known as, like, his jiu-jitsu guy or wrestling guy.
But
he's known as, like, a pressure fighter and volume fighter, for sure.
That was a nice, like, stand-up fight. He did get dominated on the ground by Max, for sure.
No, he didn't.
What?
Yeah. Oh, Yair did.
Yair got dominated by Max.
Yeah. But there were some nice reversals, too. Like, there was such a good back and forth between them the entire time. I was waiting for someone to go down. Like, I was watching Max get. I'm like, how the fuck are you not down yet?
Yeah, because this was definitely different than his last fight. When he fought Calvin Cater.
Oh yeah, that was a good fight.
Yeah, that was a good fight. But this one, like, Max Holloway is just like must-see fighter.
Dude, he's been improving each fight.
It has to do with the fact that he doesn't do live sparring. Is why he has such a good chin.
Maybe just good.
Well, the thing is, like, you can be that good, but you saw how many strikes he absorbed too. Like, he's never been knocked down in any of his fights.
They're also what, like 145, right?
Yeah, like,
so it's like,
listen, when I was younger, when I was like 16, 17, I was training all the time, right? Sparring all the time. And I got so good that I wasn't getting hit. I was hardly getting hit, you know? It's why, because your body gets used to reading your opponent so well that you know what's coming before it comes, you know? Because look, it's usually fighting it's a pattern, certain pattern. You know, when guys that get caught, usually they don't see it coming because they can't read the pattern as well, right? So usually whenever somebody throws a jab, they usually follow with the rear hand, right? Or opposite side, usually pop, pop, pop. That's how they train you. That's how they teach you to fight. So once you get be around it long enough, you start reading it so good that you just read it before it happens, you know?
And then when it's like top level guys, it's like they're so good at either hiding the pattern, switching up the pattern, that it takes like an entire round just to like try to figure
strike.
Well, like try
That's
to
why
figure them out.
Yeah, feel them out. That's what they say. Like first 2 rounds, usually like guys feel each other out. All right, what's good? What is he doing? You know, because at the beginning of the round, if you just rush in, pop, pop, you get clipped. Guys are fresh. You know, they just keep coming back from the back of the room, all warmed up, explosive.
You get caught cold.
Yeah, you get clipped real quick. So you got to be very cautious how you move. You know, like a lot of my fights ended in the first round because I can read the pattern very well. You know, like I see what's coming. I'm like, all right, that's what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna do this. Like a lot of it, I don't even think about it. I just do it with that.
Yeah, you go in that ultra instinct mode, and your body just reacts. You're
it's
not
like
thinking.
A ball. You know, when you're playing dodgeball, a ball's coming, you just move out the way.
Yeah.
Same concept. You know, you see it coming, you're like, you're not thinking about the ball coming. You just say, oh shit, ball's coming. You just do it. All right.
Yeah.
Same concept.
I like that analogy, comparing fighting to dodgeball. Something we could all do.
Most of us.
I guess. Do you have any advice for like some young fighters?
The wants to be a fighter?
Or like just started, wants to be a fighter, whatever.
If you're young, try it out, right? But if like it's a full commitment, you know. If you're really serious about it, commit to it completely. Like you can't half-ass training. You can't just not go training one day and you know.
Yeah.
Why? It will catch up with you. More repetitions you do of something, that's how fast your brain adapts to that and it becomes more effortless each time you do it, you know?
Same with like, I would say same with like podcasting.
Yeah, that's with everything. That's how your brain works. The more repetitions you do with something, it just becomes better each time to save energy, you know? To make it more effortless. So that's all I mean. Just stay, stay consistent with it.
I would agree.
Final messages, anybody?
Yeah, it's mental repetitions.
Yeah, get those mental reps in. But yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely it's just, keep doing the same thing. Keep pushing. Eventually it's going to work.
Yep.
Honestly. That's as best as I can give it. Like, it's just like, eventually it's going to work.
I don't know. Eventually it might not work. You got to be okay with failure. And
yeah, I mean, if it doesn't work, you can adjust and try again. Try something different. But yeah, for sure.
If you're not okay with failing, like, you're never going to be successful.
I agree.
That's all it is.
I agree.
Like, if you think like, even if no matter how much work you put in, if you think you're not going to fail, you're wrong, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Because me and you both have had plenty of YouTube channels. But it's like,
go ahead.
We kind of figured like what we want to do as far as like with that stuff. It's like the stepping stones, you know? We both got experience as far as that kind of stuff so that now we know like, oh, okay, this is the direction we can head with this. Like that's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, it's honestly just, that's what it's about. Just like getting your feet wet and then just going from there.
Yeah.
If you ain't failing, you ain't doing something right.
You ain't sailing. If you're not failing, you're not sailing, bro.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I want to say a shout out to Emerald Gaze, sponsor for the episode. Go check them out. UK cannabis company, cannabis accessory company. You can go to emeraldgaze.uk. Go check them out. Link and we're gonna link them. Check out Prestige Gears. Got the hoodies on. It's wintertime.
Yes,
Winter's
sir.
coming. You know.
Pink, black, white.
Yeah, he got the pink on. I got the black on. Black hoodie. Check them out. Prestige Gears on Instagram. Prestige_Gears. My name's Drew Young. At FreeDinio on Instagram. And then we got Kenny Brown.
Kenny Lee in the building.
Yes, sir. Sean Stanley.
I'm here.
And then Max Choriev.
Max Choriev. Yeah, catch him on Instagram at Max Choriev.
The Wolf. Let's get it.
Thanks for listening.